Hey guys, welcome to my Elemental Customs video. In this one I'm going to show you my 10 Elemental Customs that I made. They are all original characters, and they're actually something that I came up with a very long time ago, back in high school already. I was playing Tales of Symphonia a lot back in the days. That's a game, by the way, if you don't know what game it is. It's a great game, it's an RPG, and in that game there were 8 different summon spirits that had the different elements as their attributes, and that kind of got me inspired to first make 8 different elementals, and then I added 2 other ones to the bunch because in some Chinese horoscopes and stuff, metal and wood are also considered 2 of the main elements. I've had this whole idea, or this lore behind them, for a very long time, and I actually tried making My Little Ponies from based on the elements back in the days, but they didn't turn out great. So I was really happy now that I finally took the time to make LPS elementals, and I hope that you guys like them. I tried to make them all sort of cohesive, but also just very individual, and you know, so that they all look as cool as they possibly could. I'm also going to be telling you a little bit about what could inspire you if you want to make elementals. I'm also going to be showing you which 2 elementals are always of the opposing elements, and I'm going to explain a little bit about that. Opposing elements are elements such as ground or earth and versus wind or air. And for these opposing elements I always chose 1 dog and 1 cat to be the opposing elements to each other. I thought that would be really cool because, you know, people say that cats and dogs don't get along, which isn't always true, but in this case it could be a nice little thing. If I ever make like a series or something, then I have a team of cats and a team of dogs. And if you're a cat lover, please don't be offended that most of the cats look slightly evil, or maybe represent slightly more evil elements. That wasn't completely intentional, I just thought that they would go well with element. Anyway, long intro, sorry, and let's just get to it. Hope you enjoy! So here is my wind elemental made from a corgi dog. This one is called Sylph, named after the summon spirit of wind in Tales of Symphonia. What inspired me here was just the motion of wind, and I tried to make it look so that wind is blowing from this direction over here, and so the hair is blowing in that direction, and the whiskers as well, and everything. And I thought that she turned out very cute. The color scheme are just very neutral colors that somehow to me relate to wind, and gave her little scales because I thought it would look cool if she's kind of like a dragon, and she has scales also on her other side. So here is the opposing element to wind, which is earth. Here is Gaia, she is my earth elemental. The summon spirit of earth in Tales of Symphonia is called Gnome, so I thought maybe Gaia suits her a little bit better because she's like almost like a Mother Earth type character. And what inspired me here was just kind of thinking of this kind of earthy character with lots of wonderful shading in brown, and also having this rock texture. It's not kind of classically pretty or anything, but I thought it could look cool. And also she obviously has moss on her ears and her tail, and she's also like, if she was made of clay then she might be cracking, and it's hard to explain the inspiration there, but yeah. This is what they look like together. So one is very lumpy and cute and little, and the other one is slightly more sleek and pretty. So here is my fire elemental. He is called Ifrit, just like the one in Tales of Symphonia. And what inspired me here was just the color of ashes and like just these really dark colors, because I didn't want to make my shadow elemental too dark, as you're gonna see later. So I thought it would be cool if there was one slightly darker custom, and yeah, I thought it would look great with these fire or flame colors. So yeah, here he is, looking very evil and sneaky. And obviously this is not like a very original thought, having the fire come from the tip of the tail, but I thought that it would look cool, and it was really fun to sculpt it, so I think it's nice. Here is the opposing element to fire, which is ice, and he is called Celsius. I was inspired by tribal things and slightly inspired by the wildlings from Game of Thrones. If anyone's watching that, they have these fur things around their necks and stuff, so I just made him into this kind of like savage looking tribal dude. I think he's quite cool. And this is what they look like together. So very light colors, very dark colors, opposing elements. Here is my Thunder Elemental. He is called Volt, just like the one in Tales of Symphonia. And the colors were obviously, this is like an electric blue. See what I did there? And obviously I wanted to give it like yellows and whites because that's what I associate Thunder with. And yeah, it looks almost like a lizard or dragon cat, so I thought it was kind of original and thought it would be cool to make one like this. And here is the opposing force to Thunder, which is water, and she is called Undine, just like the one in Tales of Symphonia. I also gave her scales on the ears as well as on the tail. You can't really see them here very well, but these are actually 3D sculpted. And yeah, color scheme is just, I thought that orange and blue would look cool, but then yeah, it's got very similar colors in that sense to Volt, but as you can see, this one is more this one is more stylized and is more like bright colors, and this one is kind of more natural looking and pretty. Here is my Shadow Elemental, or Darkness Elemental, and he is called Shadow, just like the Summon Spirit in Tales of Symphonia. Again, I didn't want him to be a dark character, I wanted him to just be like sinister looking, but just kind of light and yeah, so that it wouldn't be like a very obvious choice to make it completely dark. Yes, looking quite evil. And here is the opposite of evil, which is obviously like angelic and pretty, so this is my light elemental called Luna. I also wanted her to just be white with little details and details of yellow. And she turned out very pretty and very cute. So together they look, once again, very different. So here is my Metal Elemental, obviously a Robo Kitty. I call him Dust. And what can I say? I tried to make it a robotic cat, but still have kind of patterns similar to what normal cats would have. So, you know, lighter around the nose and the eyes, and then it's hard to explain, but I was just trying to make the markings kind of similar to what a normal cat would have, but then make it into a robot at the same time. So that's something cool if you want to try it. If you want to make a robot animal, you could always see, you know, what patterns you can find in that animal originally, and then just kind of interpret them in a robotic way. That's at least I think it looks quite cool, and I think you guys could probably come up with something really amazing if you tried that. And finally, here is my Wood Elemental called Whisper. A lot of time and effort went into creating this one. She has huge antlers on her head that are filled with flowers and bird's nest, as you can see, and she's supposed to be this character that kind of lives in the forest and just lets everything grow on her, because she's like nature itself. Just, yeah, hard to explain, but I just thought it would be cool if it was like overgrown with things and kind of being the opposite of metal, obviously, because metal is man-made and this one is completely just natural. Lots of little creatures and flowers and things. So those were my elemental customs. I hope you enjoyed them, and I hope that they maybe inspired you to make your own elemental customs. If you ever make any, please let me know somehow, and I would love to see what you come up with. And if you ever feel the need to get inspired, just, you know, you can always reach out to me and ask what inspired me to do something, and I will try my best to explain it without rambling too much. And so, thank you very much for watching my video, and hope you enjoyed it, and see you again soon. Bye!